and get all the information that you need.
Like during the summer, I know that there are parents out there, including myself. It's very important to keep your child's mind stimulated.
Yes.
Over the summer, because you don't want them not reading or doing any type of arithmetic or any type of activities, because you want to keep the brain flowing.
Yes.
So, what I recommend is, having your child read a book occasionally, or just doing some computer work, okay, freshening up, because it's always good to stay ahead, especially now in school, because everything is so focused around the FCAT. You want to keep your child, ahead of the game.
Yes.
Actually, right now we have some back-to-school tips.
Yes.
That we're going to go over to kind of make your first day easier.
Yes. Yes.
Let's see. We have here, it says making the first day easier. Remind your child that she is not the only student who is a bit uneasy about the first day of school. Teachers know that students are anxious and will make an extra effort to make sure everyone feels as comfortable as possible. Point number 2. Point out the positive aspects of starting school. It will be fun. She'll see old friends and new ones.
Yes.
Refresh her positive memories, his or hers, about the previous years when she may have returned home after the first day. High spirits because she has a good time.
Yes, yes.
Find another child in the neighborhood with whom your youngster can walk to school or ride on the bus with.
Important.
Very important. Always be safe.
Yes.
What do you recommend as far as scoping out a good carpool?
Well, what I would recommend is that parents from the year before will be that was cute. Parents from the year before. Parents from the year before, you can trust them. Or if your child walks to school, make sure they walk with children that you know.
Right.
I never let my kids walk. I always took them to school. But if you don't have a car, just make sure your kids are safe. Maybe you can walk with them, or you can find a friend that you can trust to take your children to school, because we want them to be safe. We don't want them to get abducted. We don't want them to be kidnapped, or we don't want them to get lost. So make sure, if they're carpooling, you know the people they're carpooling with, and also make sure you know the bus route, what bus they should get on. That's very important.
Oh, yes. My son is a bus rider, and I can't tell you time and time again how we have mixed up our bus routes. So, yes, know your son's bus route, and what you can do to help this. A lot of schools have open house. Either that Saturday before school starts or that Sunday before school starts. So what you can do is actually report to the school in the open house, ask the school, do you guys have the bus routing scheduled, and take one and get yourself familiar with it. Ride over there, see where the bus stop is, and show your child, of course, where the bus stop is. Now, like my son, he knows where the bus stop is because he's been at this bus stop 2 years prior. But, for your child that's a new bus rider, for instance, a 6th grader first year in middle school, junior high, you want to get you and your child familiar with the bus route. Here's another tip for making the first day easier. If you feel it is appropriate, drive your child or walk with her to school and pick her up on the first day.
Great. I suggest that. I think the first day is important. Also, if you can take your vacation time, if you have little ones, you can just take that week off to make sure they're acclimated into the class. You may shadow them to school so that you can see their route, how they're walking, and make sure they always take that route. Please let the children know if they're walking, do not deviate from the route, and do not walk alone without a friend. It's very important because we want them to make sure that they are safe. So that's very important to me. Also, another tip is to make sure that you do not get in a car with a stranger.
Yes, absolutely.
Very important. If you discern or you feel as if someone is following you, make sure you walk fast, even if you have to run. If someone gets near you that you do not know, make sure you scream. It's very important. These are just some little safety tips for any young adolescents that are walking to school. And please do not be so trustworthy.
Yes, that's very important. You have to be very, very careful and be very, very safe. If you think or you feel as an adult uneasy, definitely you don't want to put your child in any uneasy situation. So if you basically feel bad or just, because you have that inner discernment.
Yes.
Try to, your best bet, try to get a carpool, or try your best bet to get a ride with your child. Backpacks. Now, that's a whole nother thing.
Oh, and they have so many different ones. We have one we want to show today.
Yes.
And we will show it later in the segment when
Okay.
because we're going to interview a mom today.
Oh, yes, that's right.
So, but there are many different types of backpacks. So
Yes.
just tell us about the backpack.
Backpack safety tips. Now backpacks are fashionable.
Yes.
I mean, you're a kid, you're in school, especially if you're a teenager, and you want to be, quote unquote, what's the
Cool.
swagger. My son says swagger or cool
Yes.
or whatever that is. So who are we?
Yes.
Who are we? So yes, the backpack. Sometimes I noticed, like when I was in school, those backpacks didn't really help much, and I had all these books in my backpack.
Yes.
And it was really uncomfortable, and then sometimes I think it was uneasy. So I went and found some tips on backpack safety.
Okay.
It says right here, choose a backpack with wide padded shoulder straps and a padded back. Well, yeah, and I guess that's probably why.
Yes, because the books are so heavy.
Yeah, well, I was going through so much with my book bag, when I was younger. Because if you think about it, I'm okay. Say I'm in the 5th grade. I weigh maybe 70, 80 pounds.
Yes.
And then I have this book bag with 10 pounds worth of books in it, and I'm walking home. That's uncomfortable on my body and my shoulders. So just imagine how your child would feel. It also says pack light. Organize the backpack to use all of its compartments. Pack heavier items closest to the center of the backpack. The backpack should never weigh more than 10 to 20 pounds, 10 to 20% of your child's body weight. Well, yeah. And I can understand that because it says pack the heaviest things closest to the back.
Yes.
And I guess because it's